What's good, Vikings Nation? Listen up, Purple and Gold Warriors, because what I'm about to tell you will shake everything you thought you knew about this 2025 season. While you were busy dreaming about another playoff run, three absolutely massive developments have been brewing behind the scenes in Minnesota that could completely transform our beloved franchise. We're talking about moves so significant, so unexpected, that they might just be the difference between another heartbreaking playoff exit and finally bringing that Lombardi trophy home to the frozen tundra. Picture this. An undrafted rookie quarterback who's making veteran players take notice with his arm talent and leadership qualities that even our future franchise QB is singing his praises. Then imagine a defensive tackle situation so explosive it involves multi-million-dollar contracts, mysterious injuries, and a potential steal that could supercharge Brian Flores' defense. And finally, envision a cornerback saga that's been months in the making, involving surgery recoveries, family legacies, and a player who could be the missing piece to our secondary puzzle. Vikings Nation, I'm telling you right now, these aren't your typical training camp updates or boring roster moves. These are seismic shifts that could define whether we're celebrating in February or crying into our purple jerseys come January. The front office has been working overtime, and the results are about to blow your mind. Smash that like button if you're ready for this roller coaster. Drop a comment below with your wildest predictions, and make sure you're subscribed because you do not want to miss how this story unfolds. But here's the thing that's got me absolutely fired up. One of these stories involves a player whose talent is so undeniable that he's got teammates calling him the man and praising everything from his work ethic to his singing abilities. Yeah, you heard that right. This is about to get wild. Are you ready to discover which undrafted free agent is quietly becoming the talk of training camp and why his success could change everything we thought we knew about our quarterback room depth? Hold on to your horned helmets, Vikings Nation, because the undrafted rookie who's stealing the show in training camp is none other than Max Bromer. That's right, the former Minnesota Gopher, who many of us watched dominate at the collegiate level, is now making waves as a Viking and turning heads in ways nobody saw coming. But wait, it gets even better. Our franchise quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, the guy we're all banking our Super Bowl dreams on, can't stop raving about this undrafted gem. When your future franchise QB says Max is the man, and I can't say enough good things about that guy, you know something special is happening in Minneapolis. This isn't just some feel-good camp story, Vikings Nation. Bromer is battling it out with Sam Howell, remember him from Washington and Seattle? And veteran Brett Rypien for crucial depth spots behind McCarthy. The competition is fierce, and while McCarthy is locked in as our starter, the fight for QB2 and QB3 could determine our season's fate if injuries strike. Here's what's got me absolutely pumped. Bromer completed 66.5% of his passes last season at Minnesota for 2,828 yards, 23 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions. Those aren't just decent numbers. They're the kind of production that wins games. And now he's bringing that same precision and leadership to our beloved Vikings. Kevin O'Connell has built his reputation on developing quarterbacks and maximizing talent from unexpected places. Remember how he transformed Kirk Cousins and got the absolute best out of our signal callers? Well, he's got another diamond in the rough, and early reports suggest Bromer isn't just taking reps, he's commanding respect with his presence on the field. The crazy part is, McCarthy even mentioned that Bromer can sing and has a song called Old Jack Daniels out there. I mean, come on, Vikings Nation. We might have found ourselves a quarterback who can sling touchdowns and drop bars. This is the kind of personality and confidence we need in our locker room. Don't sleep on the story, Purple and Gold faithful. Undrafted doesn't mean untalented, and Bromer is proving every single day that he belongs in the NFL. He may be a long shot for the 53-man roster, but he's doing everything possible to force O'Connell's hand and earn his spot through pure determination and skill. But that's just the beginning of this wild Vikings weekend, because our defense might be about to get a massive upgrade that involves millions of dollars, mysterious injuries, and a player we tried to sign before. Are you ready for this defensive bombshell? Vikings Nation, buckle up, because this defensive story is about to blow your minds and potentially change our entire 2025 Super Bowl trajectory. Remember Christian Wilkins, the massive defensive tackle we desperately tried to sign in the 2024 offseason, but lost to the Las Vegas Raiders for a whopping 4-year, $110 million deal? Well, plot twist of the century, he might be available again, and this could be our chance for revenge. Here's where this gets absolutely insane, Purple Warriors. The Raiders just voided his remaining $35.2 million in guaranteed money after issues with his injury rehabilitation from a Jones fracture in his left foot that happened last October. According to ESPN sources, Wilkins refused to have another surgery that the Raiders believed was necessary, leading to this nuclear contract explosion. Now, before you start panicking about injury concerns, hear me out, Vikings Nation. This could be the most brilliant, low-risk, high-reward move Quesiata-Fomensa could ever make. If our medical staff determines that Wilkins can play at his elite level, we could be looking at signing a Pro Bowl caliber defensive tackle for a fraction of his original cost, maybe somewhere in the $5 to $10 million range for one season. Think about this defensive line rotation, Vikings faithful. Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and potentially Christian Wilkins wreaking havoc on opposing offensive lines. We already strengthened our edge rush with Jonathan Greenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, and first-round pick Dallas Turner. Adding Wilkins to that mix would create an absolutely unstoppable front seven that could carry us straight to the Super Bowl. The best part? Brian Flores knows exactly how to use Wilkins. Remember, Flores was the head coach in Miami when Wilkins was drafted, so there's already that established relationship and understanding of how to maximize his talents within our defensive scheme. This isn't just about adding talent, it's about adding the right talent that fits our system perfectly. Here's what's got me beyond excited, Vikings Nation. If the injury situation is manageable and we can structure a prove-it deal, this could be the steal of the century. Wilkins was an absolute force when healthy, and pairing him with our existing defensive weapons would create matchup nightmares for every team in the NFC. The timing is perfect too. We're in win now mode with Kirk Cousins, wait, that's old news, JJ McCarthy ready to take over, and a roster built for championship contention. Adding a player of Wilkins' caliber could be the final piece that transforms our defense from good to historically dominant. But hold on to your purple jerseys, because there's one more free agent saga that's been brewing for months, and it involves a cornerback with serious talent, family legacy, and the potential to lock down our secondary. Are you ready for this final bombshell?
Vikings Nation, prepare yourselves for the grand finale of this epic offseason trilogy, because the cornerback situation that could define our defensive success has a name, and it's Sante Samuel Jr. This isn't just any free agent pickup. This is a months-long saga involving talent, mystery, family legacy, and the potential to transform our secondary into an elite unit. Here's what's absolutely mind-blowing about this situation, Purple Warriors. Samuel Jr. has been sitting on the free agent market since March, not because he lacks talent, but because of injury concerns following neck and shoulder surgery in April. NFL.com just identified Minnesota as the perfect landing spot for this 25-year-old defensive back, and the reasoning will give you chills. Kevin Patra from NFL.com nailed it when he explained our cornerback situation. We've got Byron Murphy Jr. locked in as our Pro Bowl caliber CB1, but behind him, there are legitimate questions. Jeff Okudah hasn't lived up to his first-round expectations. Isaiah Rodgers has understarted 13 games in his career, missing all of 2023 due to suspension, and Mekhi Blackmon is recovering from an ACL tear. This is where Samuel Jr. becomes absolutely perfect for what Brian Flores wants to accomplish with our defense. Despite some concerns about his tackling technique, his talent level is undeniable, and Flores has proven he can maximize defensive backs and put them in positions to succeed. Remember how he transformed our entire defensive philosophy? Samuel Jr. could be the next beneficiary of that brilliant defensive mind. The family legacy adds another incredible layer to this story, Vikings Nation. Sante Samuel Sr. was an elite NFL cornerback, and his son has inherited those same instincts and ball skills that made his father a household name. We're not just talking about signing a player, we're potentially adding generational defensive talent to our secondary. Here's what makes this even more exciting, Vikings Nation. If Samuel Jr. gets medical clearance this month, which has been the timeline all along, he'll likely be available on a prove-it one-year deal that could be an absolute steal for our organization. Imagine getting a player with his upside for a fraction of what he would have cost if he had been healthy during the prime free agency period. The depth chart impact would be immediate and dramatic. Samuel Jr. would slide in somewhere between CB2 and CB4, pushing players like Ambry Thomas and Tavier Thomas down the roster and potentially off the team entirely. This isn't just about adding depth. It's about upgrading our talent level at a crucial position. Vikings Nation, this is the kind of move that separates championship teams from playoff pretenders. While other teams are settling for mediocrity, we're potentially adding 3 game-changing pieces: an undrafted quarterback with franchise potential, a Pro Bowl defensive tackle at a discount, and a talented cornerback with elite bloodlines. Smash that like button if you're as hyped as I am about these potential moves. Drop a comment below telling me which of these 3 signings excites you most, and make sure you're subscribed because this offseason is just getting started. The question isn't whether these moves will happen, Vikings Nation. It's whether our front office has the vision and courage to pull the trigger on deals that could transform our franchise destiny. We've spent too many years being close, but not quite good enough. These 3 players represent the difference between another disappointing season and finally bringing that Lombardi Trophy home to Minneapolis. Are you ready to believe that this could finally be our year, or are you going to let doubt creep in when championship opportunities are literally knocking at our door?